very similar to what we talked about last week. What we talked about last week was being a warrior. Having a warrior, finding the warrior that's inside of you. And that warrior that's inside of you is going to take you all the way. Jacob, put up John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world shall have tribulation, but of good cheer. For I have overcome the world. That's Jesus' words. I have overcome the world. Well, if He's overcome the world, then why haven't we overcome the world? What is the world? What is in the world? The world is... People say the world is the people that do things that's not of God, and it's sin, and that is true. Sin is of the world, but what's in the world is what Adam has created, not what God has created. And so, therefore, the world symbolizes the ideas. Every time Jesus talks about the world, He's not talking about a person or a thing or a subject. He's talking about an idea that comes in and just takes over our mind. The ideas of the world. And if He has overcome the world, then what's holding us back? Why haven't we overcome the world? Because we have to overcome ourselves. Ourself is what's holding us back. Why do we continue to hold ourselves back? And I would like to say that the reason why is because we don't know we got this warrior inside of us that wants to fight and run through every obstacle in our way. That's inside of us. There's something inside of us that wants us to bust through those doors, bust through the bars that's holding us back. Since we talked about the warrior last week, I couldn't get it out of my head. That is the key. A warrior is determined. He is determined to win. He has no option. He can't lose. It's not even in his mind. You think a boxer is going to go in the ring thinking that he might lose? You think these UFC fighters are going in there and fighting thinking that they're going to lose? No. Why is that? Because they're warriors. They might be warring for the wrong things, but they're warriors nonetheless. And see, that warrior mentality is going to follow you all the way through every aspect and every step of your life. You have to overcome yourself. Because whenever you become a warrior, you're going to gain passion about your life. You're going to gain passion about overcoming that obstacle. Therefore, it's going to be easy for you when those things come in your life to get over them. Because you're passionate and you want to fight that fight. A warrior wants to fight. That's why he's a warrior. Those guys in UFC, they want to fight. They want to be in that ring. That's what they live for. We have to live to fight. No, we're not fighting. We're not fighting things of this world. But we have to live to fight ourselves. to fight the things that's holding us back. Because the only reason you're not where you want to be is because yourself is holding you back. Nobody else, nothing else. It's you. I hold myself back. I set standards because of fears and because of pain. And I let the pain and I let these things that I'm afraid of hold me back. And it's because I don't believe completely in myself. Because when you believe in yourself, you believe in God. Because God is in you. It's easy to say, I know God, but you don't know yourself, so how can you know God? If God is inside of you and you don't know yourself, how can you know God? God created you. You think He created you to lose? No. We were put here to have all this beautiful world that's around us. It is a beautiful world. And it is fun. And see, this message is fun. This message is fun. I look forward to challenges now. Where before I didn't look forward to challenges. I didn't want a challenge because that meant I had to give a little extra. I had to do more than the other person would do. And if they're not doing that, then why should I have to do it? Because what they're not willing to do it. Why should I go any farther than they are? They're not going to appreciate it. No, it's for yourself.
Amen.
It's for yourself that you go and take the next step.
Yes.
And you take the next step and you go farther than everybody else, because that's what's going to make you different. That's going to make you stand out amongst the crowd. And when you stand out amongst the crowd and people look at you and they can see that you're not like everybody else, you can help those people because they're watching you. See, this message is either fun for people or it's not fun for people. Honestly, that's probably why people aren't here today. Because this message ain't fun for them because they're not willing to take that extra step.
Yes.
They're not willing to take another step. And this message provokes you to go farther.
Yes, sir.
It provokes you to do more.
Yes, sir.
I look for challenges. I look for things that's going to put me in a position, put me in a corner. I like to be put in a corner because I want to fight my way out of that corner. Because I know if I can get out of that corner, then the next corner I can get out of too. People in here all know what I'm talking about. You've been put in a corner at some point in your life. And there's darkness in the corner. It's dark. It's evil. When I was young, I used to be scared of the dark. I was scared of the dark. I didn't want to be in darkness. So as a child, I grew up and I was scared. I was fearful of what was in the dark. I'd have to go take the trash out, and the trash was back in the woods behind the barn. I would run out there, throw the trash in the barrel, and run back because I was fearful. See, in our lives, we're sitting in darkness and we're too scared to move. It's like when you're laying in the bed at night, it's complete darkness and you hear a sound. I used to put the covers over my head. Don't move. Because I was fearful. Don't even want to breathe. Because you're fearful. People live their lives like that. They live their lives under the covers, hiding from the fear that's inside of them. Scared to move, scared to breathe. See, that darkness is, when you come out of that darkness is what molds you to become who you should be. That darkness molds you. When you come out of that darkness, you're not scared of the dark. And all the things that was taunting you in the darkness, it don't scare you no more. It makes you who you are. It gives you the tools that you need to keep going in your life. I look back and I appreciate the dark. Because the darkness, if I didn't understand the darkness that I was sitting in, how could I understand the light that brought me out of the darkness?
Yes.
That light is inside of you. No, don't sit there and wait for somebody to come flip the light on. Don't cry out and hope that somebody's going to come turn the light on while you're up under the covers so that you won't be scared no more, because you're still going to be scared the next time you're there.
Amen.
The next night, you're still going to be scared. What, are you going to cry out again? Hope for somebody to come turn the light on for you so you're not scared? You stand up and you get out of under what you're under and you face it. You turn the light on. You stand there and you taunt what's taunting you.
Yes.
See, because what's taunting you, whenever you taunt it back and you say, come get me, here I am, that's when you overcome that fear. But that fear that used to be because I got out of being scared from the dark. When I was doing drugs, I would be smoking crack or doing whatever, and I would be sitting in the woods in complete darkness, scared to death. Sitting in my truck looking in the rearview mirror, seeing things that weren't there. Things was taunting me that wasn't even true. I thought, I made up in my mind, the fear that I had inside of me made me see my life and my world as something that wasn't even true. You stand up to your pain first, because that pain is what's driving your fear. The hurt that's inside of you. Things that happened to you that was not your fault. Okay, it was not your fault. Is that what you want to hear? Now, what are you going to do about it? It's not your fault. It was wrong. It was not right. It was evil. You couldn't do nothing about it. So don't choose to sit in darkness, because the pain and the fear is holding you there. It's holding you under the sheets. Because the only person that's going to get you out from under those sheets is yourself.
Amen.
See, we're here at church and we hear all these people talking about God's going to bring you out. No. Jacob, put it back on the screen for us one more time. I have overcome the world. He already overcame the world. So you overcome yourself. You respect yourself. You love yourself enough to get up out of the darkness. Because He loves you so much that He overcame the world. So love yourself enough to overcome your situation. Because God's already done it for you. John 8:12. Then spake Jesus to them again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The light, the darkness cannot comprehend the light. Later on it talks about about should a man light a candle and hide it under a bushel. When the only time a man would do that is if he didn't want to be seen doing what he was doing. So he hides the light so he can't be seen. See, I hid my light. Every man's got a light. And I wanted to hide my light so others couldn't see me. I didn't care enough to light the light and get out of the situation, but I hid it. So therefore I was in fear and darkness. And I sat right where I was at, scared to death. Because one, I didn't want others to see what I was doing. And two, I didn't have enough self-love to bring myself to light the light so I could get out. Self-discipline is self-love. Whenever you make yourself do stuff you don't want to do stuff you don't like to do stuff you hate doing. Am I right? You work out all the time. You go farther than you want to. Every morning you don't want to wake up at what time do you go? What time? 5 o'clock. You don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock some mornings. But you make yourself go. And you continue to do that. Why? Because you love yourself. And see, when you continue to do that, it becomes easy for you. It becomes easy to do the right thing that's going to prosper you. Because we all know it's easy to do stuff that's going to destroy you. But you had to practice even in doing that. You had to work to start destroying yourself. It took a long time for me to really get to the point where I was absolutely destroying myself with drugs. It started out slow at first, but I had to practice in destroying myself. And it felt good, but it was the hardest thing I ever did. This is easy. Take my yoke, for it's easy. Whenever you start disciplining your mind, training your mind, that I'm not going to think this thought anymore. I'm going to think this instead. I'm not going to hang out with these people anymore because I know what they are and I know where they're going. I'm not going to associate myself with things that ain't right. And instead of doing those things, I do the opposite. Constantly. And every day you start working and it's going to be hard, and you start doing those things that's benefit you instead of destroying you. And all of a sudden, as you're doing that, and you go the extra step, you go the extra mile, now it's becoming easy. But you're going farther within yourself. Because I know that last time I did 50 push-ups. Well, this time I'm going to do 60. So now I do 60. I know I can do 60 and I can barely do 50. Now I'm going to do 70. And you keep going. That applies to every part of your life. When we start loving ourselves, we're going to start prospering. People keep doing the same stuff I have done. I'm still doing stupid stuff. Still doing stupid stuff. But I want to prosper. I know that there's going to come a point soon in my life when I'm going to put this down. And then I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to keep moving forward because I'm definitely not going back.
Amen.
I'm not going back. Those things I put down, when I put them down, I'm not picking them back up.
Yes, sir.
I do know that.
Yes, sir.
Now, will I put it down today? I don't know. Will I put it down tomorrow? Will it take a week, a month? I don't know, but I'm going to put them down, and I'm not going to pick them back up. You grow in your failure. Your growth comes from failing. So appreciate the failure. I look to fail. I want to fail because I know I give it all I had and I failed, but you know what? Next time I'll know what to do different and I won't make the same mistakes. People stop short of their blessing. They stop short of what they're about to get, all the goodness of God, because fear of failure. Because they stopped short. They was this close. But the fear that they might fail. Might. Because you don't never know if you're going to fail or not. Anything could happen. But just the fear that you might not get it right. That you might not do it. Stop them from something that could have absolutely propelled them into their future. Fear, something that won't even real. It didn't even exist. The darkness. What's your mentality when you fall? What happens when you do fall? When you do fail? I remember I used to, things wouldn't go my way or something wouldn't work out. And I would absolutely spiral out of control. And I would go straight to the drugs. Somebody made me mad, straight to drugs. Somebody did something I didn't like, if I lost something, straight to drugs. I was losing in the first place, and then I would go and lose more. Why? Because, well, I already lost this much, might as well lose it all. That's how I was when I was down. I was a victim of being down. I wanted to be down. I wanted people to see me as down. Look at me, I'm down. Feel sorry for me.
Go ahead.
That is the worst thing in our society right now, is people want somebody to feel sorry for them. They want somebody to sympathize with them. Instead of them picking themselves up and getting out of where they're at, they want to sit right there in the same spot they've always been and not move because they enjoy the sympathy. But it's darkness there. They're scared to death. I sat in darkness as a victim for years. Think about it. When you are in the dark, and you are in the bed, and you throw those covers over your head, if there was something there, what's going to happen? They got you. You're gone. Why? Because you are a victim. You set yourself up as a victim from the get-go. You presented yourself by hiding your head because you were scared and you ain't moved. You ain't done nothing but sit right there and become a victim. Get out, wake up, get out of the bed and fight for your life.
Go ahead.
It's not my life. I can't do it. I'm fighting for my own life. A victim wants somebody else to fight for them. They don't want to take responsibility for the things that they've done and And while they're in the situation they're in, they want somebody to come in and save them. And see, what we've heard all in life is God's going to come save you and pull you out of where you're at. That's not going to happen. He's already done that. Second He died on the cross, He said, it is finished. It's done. I overcame the world. Like that. And then He give us instructions. He give us things to do. He give us the tools we need. He give us the light. Forget everything else. He give us the light. He put the light inside of us. We come with a built-in light. Built-in. Already installed. All you got to do is turn it on. Flip the switch. Come out of the darkness. What you are going through is to make you better. So at the point at which you sit there and you don't move and you just stay where you're at and you say, well, I got to go through this. Oh, there's glory on the other side. No, there's going to be something right after that you got to do too. And after that, that's not going to stop. But how you approach the situation and how you fight that battle is what's going to change. That's right. Because I promise you, when I come out of drugs, there was something right after that. And then when I finally made it through that, there's something right after that. But over time, I began to find out how to use my weapons. I began to lose the fear that was inside of me. So when I seen something coming, it's come on, let's get you something. Come on. That's how you need to approach your life. Is I'm ready for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're warriors. And there's no excuse to sit where you're sitting. There is absolutely no excuse for you to keep doing the things that you're doing that you're complaining about. How bad you hate it. There's no excuse. None. When you stand up and you start to fight, your life is going to change forever. Everything in your life is going to change. Because when that comes up inside of you, every situation you come on, you're going to approach with the same mindset that I'm going to win. I'm not going to lose. I can't lose because I'm a warrior. The thing is, are you willing to go all the way? Because this is not something that I've got and this person don't have. And see, over the last couple of weeks I've been thinking, I'm like, is this just, am I speaking these things and it's like maybe I'm special and I got something somebody else don't have, or maybe they can't comprehend this? No. This is for everybody. Nobody in here is different. Nobody. We all got the same thing. Now, did we start from different spots? Maybe. But it's no excuse for where you're going. Because I can think of a bunch of people that started from nothing, from absolutely scratch, and right now have everything. You suffer in growth. Every time you're suffering, know that you're growing. If you choose to. Because a lot of people are suffering but they're not growing. But see, once you become a warrior, he looks for the pain. You need to seek that pain out inside of you. You find it. Find what hurts. And push it. Mash it. If it hurts, you push it. You make that area stronger. The worst thing you can do if you have an injury is sit there and not move it. It's the worst thing you can do. That's why they have physical therapy, and they sit there and they work whatever it is. They work it, and it hurts. That's what you do inside of you. You find what hurts and you push it. You want to get off of drugs? Then you push yourself to do something different. You push yourself to stay away from the people you're with. You make yourself make different choices. Yeah, it hurts. I was so strung out. Whenever I quit, I didn't sleep at all for 2 weeks. Could not sleep. Could not stop sweating. Could not stop moving my legs. But I wanted it so bad that I was willing to do that because I was tired of where I was at. I was sick of where I was at. I wanted that pain.
Yeah.
Going in there, I looked forward to that pain. I knew it was coming. I wanted it. Because I knew after that pain what was coming. My whole life was ahead of me.
Yes.
That pain was growing me. Not only just to know I didn't want to do it again, but to know that through that pain that I was growing into something that was beautiful. When you come out of darkness, you can't see beauty in darkness. You can't see anything in darkness, only fear. And so when I was able to come out of the darkness and see the beauty, not only in myself, but in others. See, we're all in some form of darkness right now. But what are we doing? What are we doing with it? Are we scared? Are we fearful? Or do we appreciate it because that darkness is molding us into something better than what we were? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want? I didn't know what I wanted for a long time. But I finally got to the point that I knew I didn't want to do what I was doing. I knew that was pain, that was hurt, that I was doing nothing. I knew that was going to take me absolutely nowhere. And I knew I had to do the opposite of that. And I knew that anything was better than that. Anything. Because it was dead. We have an opportunity. This knowledge that we have achieved, that we have gained here, I don't care what anybody says, it is different. It is different. This is not, you're not just going to get this anywhere. Because if you could, then the world will be healing itself. This changed my life. It changed my life. See, everybody in here knows deep inside that they can do better. Everybody knows that. Even though they might not say it with their mouth, they know that they deeply want more. Nobody is content, absolute content with their lives as it is. Because it's inside of us to want more. God placed that inside of us. To want more than what we've got. Always. And see, there is nothing wrong with that. Your life should never stop from wanting more. You should always want more, always want to take the next step, always want to go farther than before. That's inside of us. That's your God. He wants to go farther, farther and farther and take you farther. But you got to overcome yourself. And whenever you get over yourself, you get over the things that's holding you under that bed sheet that you're scared to death. And that you become a victim. And you get out of that and face what's in front of you head on. At that point, you'll start taking those steps and you will watch your whole life change. I can see growth in myself. And see, other people don't have to tell me. I can see it. Physically, I can see it. And there's no better feeling for myself. Just to know that I'm not doing the same things I was a year ago. I'm past that. It's not about any of you guys. Because honestly, what you guys think don't affect me one bit. But it's what I think about myself. And when we stop trying to please others and stop being people pleasers because you're not pleasing yourself. We get on Facebook and we try to put this facade out there for people to see. We want people to see us as this way. When that's not you and that's not who you even want to be. But you think that if people see you this way, it'll make you feel better about yourself. Stop worrying about what anybody else thinks about you and worry about yourself, getting over yourself. Because at the end of the day, guess what? You got to live with yourself. When you go to bed at night and you close your eyes, even though your husband or wife is beside of you, guess what? That's just you and yourself. And if you can look back on your day and say, I did something with myself today. I bettered myself today. I took that extra step today, and tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go to the next level tomorrow because today I did something with myself. Or do you lay there and think about what you should have done and what you could have done? It takes work. But when you start that work, all of a sudden it don't feel like work anymore. When you start, it's hard. It's hard to get going. But after a while, it becomes a passion. It becomes, this is just what I do. This is who I am. Yeah, I'm going to go the extra step because that's who I am. I don't have to make myself do it. That's just what I do. What are people remembering you as? When people think of you, what do they think of? Somebody who stopped short? Or do they think of somebody who's just always going for more? And they say, yeah, that guy, that girl, she goes after. She wants something for her life. He wants something for his life. This life is too beautiful to let it pass by.
That's right.
It's too beautiful, man. It's awesome. And I didn't realize that until I started to love myself. I started to overcome myself. You go the extra mile when people ain't watching. Not when they are watching. What are you doing when nobody's watching? What do you do then? What do you do when there's nobody but you and yourself? Because that determines you. And if you're happy with that, if you're happy with what you're doing when nobody's watching, if you can look back and think of things that you've done when nobody was watching, then you found yourself. But if you look back and you say, I can do better. I need to do more. I want more. Then you're on the way to finding yourself. It don't matter where you're at in this journey. It don't matter. Because no matter where you're at on this path, you can always start right now. Or right now. Or what about now? Just start. Just start. Go all the way. All the way. I had a bunch of scripture. This is all God. God wants this for you. This is what He give us, is life. And life more abundant. That's it. That's His whole purpose for coming here, was to give you life and life more abundantly. How do we do that? How do we get that? Well, He's already given it to you. Get rid of the fear. When you see fear in your life, stop right in and face it. It don't matter if you're shaking in the knees, scared to death about what is coming. You run at it hard. Go as hard as you can at it. And hit it right between the eyes with everything you got. That's when your life is going to change. Start smashing your fears, because fear is the very thing that's the opposite of God. When you start breaking those fears down and you start smashing the fears that's in your life, all that's left is you and God. All that's left is opportunities for you. Scared of what might happen. That might or might not happen. But you let it affect your whole day, your whole week, your whole month, your whole life. Because you're scared of what might happen. But one thing's guaranteed. You know what's going to happen if you do something about it. That's the only thing we're guaranteed. Is that if we try, and then if it don't work and we try again, that eventually something's going to work. Because we are problem solvers.
Yes, sir.
We are solutions.
Yes, sir.
There's solutions inside of us. It don't matter what it is, there is always a way. I can't. I hate that word. I can't do this. You can. You can do all things through Christ, who strengthens You can. This life is great. It is. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I spent half my life, couldn't even see how beautiful this life was. It didn't even cross my mind. I didn't even know it. But I see it now. And once you see it, you can't go back. You won't go back. It's impossible to go back. You cannot step back into where you were, to where you couldn't see nothing. You can't step back into the darkness. Once you got a light, it's on. Once you know you got a light, it's on. We got the light. See, whenever we light up ourselves and we start to do that, all of a sudden, the Bible says everybody in the room can see. You're not just lighting your way, everybody around you can see. Okay, now we got a house with a room that's lit up. Now the neighbors get a little bit of light. Now their house lights up. Now this neighbor gets his lights going. Before you know it, you're that city on a hill that you can see from far, far away. There are people wandering out, just wandering through the woods, lost. They see that light because it's a bunch of lights. The light's inside of us. We got to start with ourselves. Once we start with ourselves, everything around us is going to be lit up. And when our house is lit, other houses are going to get lit. And when those houses get lit, all of a sudden, you got this big, big fire that you can see from far, far away. And that is the kingdom of God. That's what we're going for. That's why we got to start. Because it's bigger than us. All we talked about today was us. It's so much bigger than us. That's just one piece of it. One small piece. One small light. This whole world can be illuminated. And will be illuminated. But see, we gotta get this ball rolling within ourselves. Because when we start rolling our ball, all of a sudden other people's going to start. And we're going to spark this thing up so that people that is a long way away from God can find His way to it. It becomes a passion. It becomes something that wells up inside of you the same way that fear did. See, the fear is in the bottom of your gut that you can't breathe. The passion comes from right here. It hits you in the chest to where you can take huge breaths. You can breathe easy. And that passion it drives you just like fear does. And you can't get enough. Let's stand and we'll pray. Dear God, I thank you for this awesome day you've given us. Thank you for this beautiful life that you've given us. I thank you for giving us tools that's going to make us find this life. Because once we find it, all of a sudden, there's no going back into the darkness. Once we see your beauty, there's no going back. And I thank you. I thank you for everybody here. I thank you that we're building something here. We're building a foundation right here. We're going to start with ourselves. We're going to change ourselves, and after we change ourselves, we're going to change everybody around us. We're going to light a fire and get light going in this house so we can be that city on a hill. God, thank you for the food that's downstairs and everybody who had a hand in that. Bless the food. Bless the fellowship. Bless this day. Amen.